Greetings, everyone. Hope you've been well. I've prepared another speech that I hope you will take a little bit of time and listen to and perhaps spread the message as well. And again, I thank you for your time. So let's begin with my foreword again. Gas, oil, petroleum, coal, etc. All forms of fossil fuels. Ever wonder why they are called fossil fuels? We'll just put it together and it's pretty easy to understand why. All these forms of energy come from dead Earth. As in drilling, fracking, burning, destroying. Is it any wonder the environment is in the stage it is in now? As the population continues to boom, so does the demand for these fuels. However, this type of system cannot sustain much longer if we want our children to live a happy and healthy lifestyle. So, where do we begin? How about we start with the massive deception of the ages and all the greedy oil companies. Many years ago, there was a man named Nikola Tesla. I'm sure most of you watching this video will know of him. He produced technology that could replace any kind of fossil fuels. His work and patents for his devices were quickly bought out by the big oil companies, and then seldom was seen or heard from it since. I think that Nikola may have also been influenced by the government, perhaps even threatened, that if he attempts to enlighten the world to this type of energy/fuel/technology, the consequences will be grave for him and/or his family. So fast forward to today, some 70 years later. This technology is still not found in the mainstream. Why? Suppression, of course. If the big oil giants let those patents of Tesla out, they would have gone bankrupt many years ago. That is what should have occurred. But somehow, their influence played into the government, and greed took over from there. Their greed blinded them to the risks of the continuation of the use of these fossil fuels. Now back then, I am sure they considered it to be no big deal. The vehicle industry was booming, freeways were being constructed, and gas stations served well for employment, as did all the construction at the time. However, as time passed and pollution increased, it seems that their regard for the soil they walk on, the water they drink, and the air they breathe was not enough to curb their greed. What utter stupidity, in my opinion. And now, as these technologies that have been hidden for so long begin to surface at last, in the age of digital information, people are starting to see that they have been played since day one. I can tell you that I have seen many vehicles that are secure and travel up to 60 miles an hour that run off electricity and even water. It's very real, but you have to open your mind to it. So far, most of those I have presented this idea to simply dismiss it or laugh. It's not until you show them that they give you that crazy look. There is so much that goes on that is present but is unseen. For most people, the old adage applies, seeing is believing, to which I say, ignorance is hindrance, not bliss. Japan is on the brink of bringing a lot of these new types of technology to the mainstream world. But, strangely enough, they are in the midst of a nuclear crisis of a grand scale. This, of course, slows or even stops the flow of information getting out of Japan to the world, and hinders their economy. Now use your brain here. Just as the Japanese are prepared to unveil these new techs that can change the world for the better, what occurs? A giant earthquake/tsunami near Fukushima and the nuclear crisis. Coincidence? I could continue on and on about the how/why of the 9.0 earthquake they endured, but that is best left for you to learn of. It's right in front of you all. Simply follow your intuition. Who would it benefit to cripple Japan in the midst of this threshold of technology? Could it be the big oil companies and those who support them? Now, let's examine what may occur if this tech does indeed go mainstream, which I know it will eventually. First of all, you're going to have a global oil and gas crisis. Think of it. When the people learn that they can purchase or even build a vehicle that runs off electricity or water, the demand for gasoline is going to take a sharp dive. Not only that, but think of how many other types of fossil fuel companies will end up going under. So the big question is, how do we transition from gas to electric/water forms of fuel and maintain a balanced and safe economy? The short answer, it cannot be done. There is simply too much demand and employment in these industries now to ensure any kind of transitional period that goes smoothly. The long answer, It must be done regardless. Now this ties into my abundance program, which I spoke of in a previous address, which you will find on my channel. This program will ease the massive burden of this delicate transition from fossil fuel to solar/water power. If implemented before the great rush of new technology, I am certain that any major crisis could be kept to a minimum. There is just no easy way out of this mess we've gotten into. There will be chaos, there will be crisis, but it can be kept to a minimum. Many challenges will arise. How will we employ all those who lost jobs from working at gas stations, coal miners, oil tycoons? This is also a problem I have a solution for with my abundance program. For every problem, there is a solution. You simply must tackle it head on, beyond doubt, beyond outside influence. Basically, just get the shit done. It's all going to fall back to money. Money is unlimited. You can print it forever. Would you work for paper simply due to the fact that you were raised with the notion that it has value, can bring you joy, stability, and success? Most all of you do, and just let it happen without any kind of questioning the system. I implore you all, question everything and anything. There are things out there right now that would blow your mind. Simply seek them out. Break free of this system of the daily grind, of any notion or thought that you have to do this or you must do that. Think in an entirely new way, and you will begin to see that the world around you will follow suit. Nothing is absolute. Many current concepts and perceptions are based upon absolutes. This is hindering your ability to create your own life that you always wanted. We must be rid of these fuels and energies that are detrimental to the air, water, and soil. The concept of fossil fuels no longer serves the best interest of the many. It only serves the best interest of the few. The greedy, the loathsome, lying bastards that continue to sip their fine wine and live a life of luxury while the earth suffers. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, and it's time that the scales are restored. In closing, I ask you all, do your own research. Think of your children's future. Start talking about these things with your friends and family. As the conscious wave grows, pressure mounts for those in power to step down and answer for their crimes against not only humanity, but the world itself. Open yourself to all possibilities, all perceptions. Do not dismiss, discern. Much love to you all. I will not stop my and our mission until it is completed. I care not the risks, only the rewards. And the rewards will benefit us all. Semper Fi.